All right, today we're jumping into one of the funniest, smartest, and just most brilliant comedies ever written, Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. And you gotta love the subtitle, A Trivial Comedy for Serious People. That little phrase, it's the key to the whole thing.
Right from the jump, Wilde gives us this gem from one of our main characters, Algernon. And you know what? This isn't just a clever one-liner to stick on a coffee mug. It's basically the mission statement for the entire play. It's all about the glorious, hilarious mess that happens when people play fast and loose with the truth.
So, here's how we're going to break this masterpiece down. We're going to go through it act by act, almost like we're watching it together. Then we'll zoom out and talk about why this seemingly silly play is, well, kind of a big deal.
Okay, so picture it, 1895. The play hits the stage and it's an absolute riot of farcical comedy. But here's the thing about Oscar Wilde. You can't let the laughter fool you. He's using all this absurdity to take some serious shots at the stuffy, rigid rules of Victorian high society. We're talking marriage, class, and this obsession with looking good on the outside.
So Act 1 kicks off, and we're dropped right into the middle of London with our two leads. You've got the witty, devil-may-care Algernon Moncrieff and his friend Jack Worthing, who seems to be the more responsible one. Seems to be. It's right here that Wilde introduces us to the secret weapon that drives all the comedy.
And that weapon has a name, Bunburying. This is Algernon's brilliant little invention. He's created a fake, chronically ill friend named Bunbury. So whenever there's a boring dinner party or a family gathering he wants to skip, "Oh, so sorry, poor Bunbury is terribly ill again." It's basically the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card.
But here's the twist. Algernon's not the only one playing this game. Our respectable hero, Jack, has a secret of his own. See, back in the countryside, he's just Jack, a super serious guardian to a young woman named Cecily. But when he wants to escape to London and have some fun, he pretends he has a wild, irresponsible younger brother named, you guessed it, Ernest.
Okay, now here's where it gets complicated. Jack, while pretending to be Ernest, proposes to a woman named Gwendolyn. And she says yes, but with a catch. She's obsessed with the name Ernest and says she literally couldn't love anyone with a different name. But that's the least of his problems. Her mother, the terrifying Lady Bracknell, finds out that Jack was an orphan found as a baby in a handbag at a train station. Yep, you heard me right, a handbag. And she's just not having it.
So for Act 2, we leave London and head to Jack's country house, and this is where all those little lies start to just spectacularly blow up in everyone's faces. It's like Wilde set up all these dominoes in Act 1, and now he's just gleefully knocking them over.
So Algernon, who overheard Jack's address, thinks, hey, this Bunburying thing is fun. So he decides to crash the party. He shows up at the country house and introduces himself to Jack's ward, Cecily, as Jack's wicked, long-lost brother, Ernest Worthing.
And this is where the play becomes this perfect, beautiful, chaotic mess. Because Cecily has been fantasizing about this bad boy Ernest for months, she instantly falls for Algernon. So let's get this straight. We now have two different women, Gwendolyn and Cecily, both completely in love with a man named Ernest who doesn't even exist.
And then Gwendolyn arrives at the country house. Uh-oh. She meets Cecily, and what follows is one of the most brilliantly funny scenes in all of theater. The two of them, through smiles and polite conversation over tea and cake, figure out they're both engaged to the same Mr. Ernest Worthing. It's a polite Victorian catfight, and it is absolutely priceless.
All right, on to Act 3, the grand finale. All our characters are in the same room, all the lies are out in the open, and everything is a complete disaster. It seems hopeless, but this is where Wilde pulls off his most ridiculous and most perfect magic trick.
Just when you think things can't get any crazier, in walks Lady Bracknell. She's furious that her nephew Algernon is engaged to Jack's ward, right up until she hears Cecily has a huge fortune. Suddenly, she's all for it. But Jack sees his chance. He puts his foot down and says, nope, I won't approve Cecily's marriage unless you approve mine to Gwendolyn. Stalemate.
And then she spots it. The handbag, the one Jack was found in. Lady Bracknell recognizes it immediately. She explains it belonged to her sister, who lost her baby boy years ago, which means Jack is actually her nephew, which means he's Algernon's older brother. They frantically check the old records to find his birth name, and, of course, it was Ernest. It was Ernest all along.
It's an incredible twist. Jack realizes that by pure dumb luck, He's actually been telling the truth this whole time without even knowing it. He really is named Ernest, and this lets him deliver the final, perfect, tongue-in-cheek punchline that is also the title of the play.
So, why do we still perform and love this play over 100 years later? I mean, yeah, it's hilarious, but the real reason it lasts is because of how brilliantly it's put together and what it's sneakily saying underneath all the jokes.
I mean, the storytelling is just incredible. The plot is like a perfect little music box, everything fitting together so neatly. The dialogue is full of those classic razor-sharp Wildean quotes. The humor isn't just slapstick, it comes from these absurd characters. It's just a masterclass in how to write a comedy.
But here it is, the secret sauce. The entire play is about trivial stuff, right? A name, a handbag, who gets the last cucumber sandwich. And that's the whole point. Wilde is holding up a mirror to Victorian society and saying, look at you. You're so obsessed with trivial things like money and status and appearances that you miss what actually matters. It's brilliant satire.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Wilde used comedy to poke fun at the absurd social rules of his time. So if you look at our world today, with all our social media rituals and weird trends, you have to wonder, what trivial modern custom is just sitting there, waiting for its own Oscar Wilde to come along and write a play about it? Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me on this one.